Computer. Computer access mission files. Voice print ID.
Name.
Sitaine Nuluhaya.
Classification.
Exo-archeologist, linguist.
Mission.
Cygnus Percussia 2.
Purpose of current mission.
The survey of planet ruins for anthropological and linguistic data.
Voice print ID confirmed. Mission files available. 1. Planet specs. 2. Anthropological theory. 3. Command committee. 4. University committee. 5. Technical manifest. 6.
Hold it. Date. Standard.
Name.
Sitaine Nuluhaya.
21.639. 2 years, 5 solar standard days from launch of this mission. 2 months, 6 days from last communion with Cygnus system orbiting planetary research caravan team. 3 days from emergence from sleep stasis.
And what's the local time?
It is 1100 hours local time.
Biostats, please. Condensed.
Name.
Sitaine Nuluhaya.
Officer Scientist 4th level Nuluhaya is at standard operating levels due to sleep stasis effect, physical strength, and motor control currently at 92%. Normal levels should return in 18 hours.
What's the latest from the van?
Please identify van.
What's the latest from the Planetary Research Caravan, the PRC?
The last Planetary Research Caravan transmission reports that 3 mission teams are safely landed on Cygnus Chrysophase, Cygnus Avis, and Cygnus Boreas. 2 more teams near to landing on Cygnus Belle Nuit and Cygnus Belle Geist.
Have the first 3 teams registered formal planetary claims with the governments yet?
All claims to these planets by the Planetary Research Caravan are now formally registered.
Well then, let's get my ass down planet-side so I can do the same with my little corner of the universe. Can I get a message to the caravan, or are they out of reach yet?
The Planetary Research Caravan just entered into orbit around Cygnus Belle Geist on the far side of the system and is unreachable.
For how long?
2 months.
Please confirm my scheduled pickup.
1 year.
All right then. Get me down to Percussia. Computer. Time. Stamp.
7th day, 0700 hours. Log of Sitaine Nuluhaya, exo-archeologist, linguist, entry 1.
I am planet-side on Cygnus Percussia. I am outside in a mild Arctic storm, but I'm warm in my habitat suit, and thanks to my caravan tailor, I can interface with the computer remotely. In the name of the Planetary Research Caravan, I claim Percussia. Now that we're done with our political hubris, we can get down to science. All over this system, my colleagues are falling like thin rain, and where we land, discovery and knowledge will germinate. We're surveying them in shifts to maximize and expedite the political claims, but nothing can sour the ambrosia of being here first. It's fantastic. The shuttle, at last, has jettisoned me onto this icy, cracked world. I'm alone, amid the remains of an extinct civilization entombed in glacial ice. I've waited so long to be here. There's no one here. Mine is the only voice for this planet now, a world that has probably not spoken for millennia. Another irony for me, a failed writer, a failed poet. Albeit a failure in those, I am indeed an excellent exo-archeologist and a superb linguist. I fought hard for this assignment. I won this solitude. I think the sciences will indulge me my artistic conceits. Otherwise, I'll pass into madness from the desultory reporting of meters and temperatures. I am queen of this ice for the next long year. But I've tucked a little civilization in my pack. The entire pantheon of literary gods are with me. The voices of E.E. Cummings, Pamela Angelou, and Emily Dickinson will keep me sane. I'm taking some geodata readings now, and it's about minus 15 degrees Celsius. A warm day for this wasteland. The network of structures that the Scout probe had recorded in the 45 mission, and the reason that I'm on this blighted world, is about 200 meters ahead of me, though I can't see it at all. The twin suns here smack the snowy surfaces with too much glare. There really is a tremendous amount of light. Not much warmth, though. The way ahead seems pretty smooth, just snowdrifts and ridges. Some of the drifts, which are massive, are 15 to 30 meters tall. They look like crystallized sheets of whale baleen. This civilization made complex structures. That connotes engineering, communication, intelligence. And what is the nature of that intelligence? Did they speak as we do? If their anatomy is different, it is almost assured that they spoke differently. The physical vessel controls the word. Different mouths and muscles producing different sounds. Perhaps sounds humans are incapable of making. Time to pack up and set up a homing beacon and trail markers so I can reach this shuttle again. It will take a lot of trips to haul the equipment and the stores back to the field station, which, I might add, I have yet to set up. I imagine I fell, but I'm all right. My shuttle is parked on the lip of a crevasse, and it's a bloody deep one, too. I'm systematically flexing my muscle groups and moving my joints. I believe I'm not hurt. I broke through a thin glaze of ice and slid down into an ice pocket. I can see my ice hack and my lunch on a ledge 15 feet below me. We'll just declare that a loss. It's not a long crawl back up, but I'd better get moving. After I'm back on top, I've got to set up the field station and organize base camp. Christ and fraggot.
End of recorded entry.
Time stamp.
7th day, 09:20 hours, entry 2.
I'm inside the shuttle. It's basically a loss. The caravan navigator landed it on the edge of forever, and I certainly can't drag it from the lip. Also, somehow a slow radioactive leak in the cooling system has erupted that I can't fix. When it's time to rendezvous with the van, they'll have to send down one of the other shuttles. Computer, are you sure we can't get through to the caravan?
The planetary research caravan is on the opposite arc of the Cygnus system and is unreachable.
Are you sure? They were supposed to set up the relay.
The satellite communications relay is not yet completed.
We'll try anyway. Play back any communications they might have sent in the last 5 days. Stop playback. Send them a message from us anyway. Start SC relay message. Shuttle is a loss, useless for travel or shelter. Am all right and am proceeding with survey. End SC relay message. Add to the message the full report I made on the leak and my status. Transmit SC relay message.
The satellite communications relay message sent.
Okay then. Now to head out to the structure. No rest for the clumsy. Computer, equipment check. Locate audio dog.
That name is not recognized.
Sorry. Locate the audio walkabout recorder and locate the video walkabout recorder.
Both items are located in Storage Unit 5H.
Well then, let's go for a walk.
End of recorded entry.
Time stamp.
7th day, 1600 hours. Entry 3.
I've set up camp within the structure. I know it's not sound science to set up camp in the dig itself, but without the shuttle, I can't survive the nocturnal temperatures. I'm in what seems to be an annex, just past one of the dozens and dozens of entrances. The air and earth are much warmer at these spots, though still frigid. I suspect some sort of geothermal energy is at work, although the scout probe indicated nothing about energy on this scale. This planet is supposed to be essentially dead. Entering the structure, I passed through what I suppose is a door, but it's made of a fibrous material composed in radial panels. I pushed through and it closed back on itself afterwards. It was sort of like pushing my way through a giant broom. I cannot guess what this fibrous material is until I analyze some samples. Clearly, intelligence has been an agent here. With such sophistication present, I hope to find inscriptions, runes, iconography, ideograms, something. Language is a reflection of culture, of anatomy, of the very way our brains are physically organized. I suspect I'm going to find something unique here. I've stopped porting my gear from the shuttle for the night, but I'll need to make another trip tomorrow. Computer, what is the temperature just outside this complex?
The temperature outside the complex is minus 27.6 degrees Celsius.
Cold, cold numbers indeed. Right now, I'm essentially set up on the doorstep of this ancient building. It's dark, completely dark in here. As I swing my flashbeam over this great hall, which I've decided to call Cave Prime, I can see fantastic shapes. It's honeycombed with what seem to be doors and windows and even portal-like openings in the ceilings and floors. There's no discernible pattern, but there seems to be organization nonetheless. There are also these marvelous... Oh, God. Shit. There's another problem. My filter... My biofilter's been knocked about a bit. My oxygen ratio is off. I think I can fix it. There's a screwdriver and a threader in my pack somewhere. You know, it's pretty damn cold in here, too. If I had a big pot of steaming hot chocolate, I'd stick both my feet in it. Come on. Come on. That... Oh, shit. Shit and shit. Well, I've trauma'd the biofilter. I am now officially exposed to all the nasty vermin terrorists of this planet. I think the risk of contamination is small. I hope the risk of contamination is small. Thanking the gods for small favors, I note that there is also oxygen on this planet. Computer, what's the atmosphere composed of on this planet?
Oxygen levels on Cygnus percussia at 92%. Ammonia levels at 5%. Trace levels
albeit laced with low levels of ammonia. Well, doesn't this just suck donkeys on the wrong end? There's no more need for the helmet. to continue. There are these marvelous, absolutely marvelous, antennae-like structures shooting down from the ceilings and up from the floors in various places. They're not so many as the holes and windows. About an 8-to-1 ratio. What is that? My echo, but it's different, more fantastic. It's my voice, but the rhythms and pitches and pronunciations are off. Different. Almost musical. The antennae-like structures are very thin, about 7 to 10 centimeters wide and from 0.5 to 2 meters tall. They're composed of the same fibrous material as the entrance, but covered in tiny hairs, rather like the hairs on a plant's secondary root system. They're responding to the sound vibrations of my voice. I'm about a foot away, but I can distinctly see the fine hair fibers undulating to my voice. Rather like the way fields of grain or long grass are pushed and kneaded by the wind. J. S. A. E. Cha. Extraordinary. These hair fibers definitely react to phonemes, and the patterns of undulation differ according to each sound block. They're highly sensitive. I'll have to test these antennae against our phoneme library. This is just too fantastic. The sound quality with this log, although satisfactory for notation, isn't the highest caliber. It's time to break out Audio Dog. I need recordings that are highly sensitive. As I step, as I speak, the sounds of my movement and voice are being funneled through this place. I'm hearing the most curious echoes, my voice and my words, but somehow made more musical and rich and cold as they boomerang through this warren of stone. I'm placing Audio Dog next to the opening of some sort of stone funnel or spout to try to get some of this. The first day's night had come, and grateful that a thing so terrible had been endured, I told my soul to sing. Emily Dickinson, 4:10. I hope I'm catching that. Those aren't quite the phonemes I've uttered, as you can tell. They come back, and they're full of different tones and pitches with some weird sound textures mixed in. Incredibly curious. It makes me wonder if this whole place wasn't built with sound in mind. The acoustics would be the envy of any opera house. Absolutely phenomenal.
End of recorded entry.
Timestamp.
Could not identify last request. Please repeat request.
Time stamp.
7th day, 1800 hours. Entry 4.
As I finish my fine sea rations spiced with tarragon and orange, and that's sarcasm, by the way, I cast my gaze about my new home. It's warm, and it houses my gear nicely. Could use a painting or a poster or something. Not that I could see it, though. It's like permanent twilight in here. The echoes, by the way, are manageable if you don't trigger them by speaking or walking at normal volumes. I have a suspicion that there's more here than meets the ear, haha, so I'm taking this moment to fine-tune Audio Dog so as to try and better catch sounds that I might not actually be hearing myself. I'm very excited about these discoveries, but I'm exhausted. For now, it's a sip of civilization to lull me to sleep. Tomorrow, ambrosia. Computer, Emily Dickinson 501.
This world is not conclusion. A species stands beyond, invisible as music.
This place
but
is so
positive
vast.
as sound.
It's a bit like sleeping in a museum after hours.
Philosophy doesn't know.
Computer, make my bed.
Could not identify last request. Please repeat request.
I was just kidding. Good night.
End of recorded entry.
Time stamp.
8th day, 2000 hours. Entry 5.
I'm inside my helmet again. I went to port some more of my stores back to Cave Prime from the shuttle when the wind swept up this sudden storm. I'd lost the trail, but I know the annex is about 36 yards ahead of me somewhere. If this record is found, return it to the Science and Exploration Branch of Dunellen University. You know, that might have been a bit premature as well as a bit histrionic. I think this blessed thing is the opening. Blessed be my patron gods. I'm through. And off comes the helmet. All right. I'm back within the complex. I'm lost within the complex. I'm looking around, and this is definitely not my own private little entrance. It's one of the other 100. It's rather small and closed in, like a termite tunnel. There are these raised, hollow veins careening all over the walls. They're fairly translucent, and they have some elasticity, though they're also of that semi-hard, fibrous material. If I rap them with my knuckles, you can hear little stones or something rattling inside them. Amazing. I'll have to come back here with Audio Dog. I don't know how close I am to Cave Prime, but I think it's not terribly far. I can do a loose check with the geostat. The danger will be in getting lost within these Byzantine chambers. Let's see. Southeast. Okay, then. The geostat puts me at about 1 click southeast from home, and I have no map. I'm lost, but how to not get hopelessly lost? I have no supplies, no trail markers, no food or water. I do have a knife. These walls don't take to marks, at least not with this. I'm gonna mark the trail with my locks of hair. I've got nothing else. I'm going to place them at each junction. The echoing, by the way, as weirdly charming as it was before, is quite maddening and unsettling now. I hope to find my way back before I'm bald. Computer, time.
9th day, 0200 hours. Entry 6.
So it's about 0200 hours now. I accidentally recrossed my trail a couple of times, but the hair markers keep putting me back on course, and I am making progress. The echoes are sounding very queer. Oh, my hair is about 0.2 meters shorter than when I started.
End of recorded entry.
Time.
9th day, 0400 hours. Entry 7.
Still can't locate Cave Prime. It is getting a lot warmer. Computer temperature?
It is 17 degrees Celsius.
My habitat suit is sticking between my shoulder blades. It has also gotten much, much brighter. I can easily see my way without artificial light. Some sort of mechanism must be powering this complex. Could I have somehow accidentally triggered an energy flow process? How could such a process work after being dormant for millennia? I've come across some rooms with some sort of damage to the walls and ceilings. They almost seem like natural striations in the rock. There's some sort of pattern to them. They're in about a half dozen of these chambers. On closer inspection, these aren't natural. They look a little like graffiti. They look like data, like readouts. This place is so sound-centric. Could they be sound wave readouts? They really look remarkably like the audio datagraphs we collect when we sample speech. I'm really getting very hot, and I feel a little sick. I may have a fever. Score 1 for the vermin terrorists.
End of recorded entry.
Mark the time in the log, computer.
9th day, 0530 hours. Entry 8.
It's about 5 in the morning. I'm back at Cave Prime. Snug in my sleep sack with my sea ration stroganoff and, most importantly, my literary colleagues about to lullaby me. I still have some hair left, although I probably look like Queen of Asylums now. My head feels like the worn stubble of a very old carpet. Aside from the petite miracle of my return, there is this other curiosity of the writings. I'm convinced now they are writings, not sound wave readouts. Perhaps it's some writing based on mathematical depictions of sound. And now for the most curious thing. For the last hour or so before I found Cave Prime, I had been moving through the very chambers that surround it. I could have sworn that these rooms, when I originally mapped them, had blank walls and ceilings. These were the very first rooms I investigated. Could I have missed these inscriptions? It's impossible that I did, for I was very thorough. But I must have, for there they are. It still is the most curious thing. Right here, in my sleep cave, in Cave Prime itself, there are tons of them. More here than I've seen anywhere else in the complex. It's a lot brighter in here now that mysterious energy source has kicked in, so perhaps I just missed them in the murk. I'm excited, but exhausting. The conditions on this planet have more potential for catastrophe than I ever gave them credit for. My shuttle is wrecked. I almost free fell into an abyss. I trashed my own habitat suit. I got lost in an ice blizzard and almost got lost in the tunnels. But I'll have a lot to report when the caravan swings back around to this side of the system to pick me up. I can't wait to examine the writings, but for now, it will be Emily. Good night. Computer. Emily Dickinson, 657.
I dwell in possibility. A fairer house than prose, more numerous of windows, superior for doors.
End of recorded entry.
Timestamp.
9th day, 1700 hours. Entry 9.
A late start, but I was exhausted. Went to work at 1100 hours and been working ever since. I'm convinced that the sound wave readouts I found on the walls are also some sort of language compound, but I don't know how I am supposed to disciple it, even with the syntax algorithm programs I brought. I'm setting up some basic texts to gather information about this place's chemistry, biology, etc.
End of recorded entry.
Computer timestamp.
9th day, 2100 hours. Entry 10.
You know, I can't believe in it, but I've been able to map out a crude grammar from some of the files from AudioDog. How could I have done this so quickly? This is an alien language. It should have taken years. Years. By the way, I am also quite feverish. I tried to eat something, but my throat is too tight. I can't swallow anything. Mouth feels funny.
End of recorded entry.
Computer timestamp.
10th day, 0300 hours. Entry 11.
Should rest soon, but I'm making too much progress today. I've got the basic grammar. I know that that's unprecedented. It's impossible, so soon, in fact, but I've done it. I don't know how I did it, but it's done. It's been like a logic puzzling. There's some mathematical keys. I just basically follow my instincts and it unfolds in itself. I know it's impossible. No one's will believe upon this, but true enough it is.
End of recorded entry.
Computer timestamp.
Could not identify last request. Please repeat request.
Timestamp.
Could not identify last request. Please repeat request.
Timestamp.
10th day, 0600 hours. Entry 12.
I've deciphered some simple words. I know. It's impossible and this is happening. Less than 5 days in Grift and I'm conquering an alien language. Here are the first words. His world sis noant conclusion.
End of recorded entry.
Timestamp.
Could not identify last request. Please repeat.
Timestamp.
10th day, 1400 hours. Entry 13.
Still sleep? No. Still fever. Took your medication. The computer is acting up, so I don't know if it will handle any more data from AudioDog correctly, but we'll give it a go. Some chemosanalysis and Viocin analysis come back this morning. This annex, this place, is an organic machine. Both photosynthesizes, bound audio synthesizes. I'm glad for amazing. Rooms in which I'm active and moving get warmer and lighter. My movements and voice must be triggering the energy process. This place responding to my movements. The hair fibers on the antenna and the shafts must have collect sound and use it somehow. All these corridors and halls and shaftings collecting sound, which production energy. Energy!
or technological. Even incidental noise is used to power-base the machine. Every eye this word been speaking has been feeding the machine with sound energies.
End of recorded entry.
Computer, Diam Stomp.
Could not identify last request. Please repeat.
Diam Stomp, Dime Stomp, Dime Stomp.
Could not identify last request.
Dime Stomp!
10th day, 2000 hours. Entry 14.
Something's wrong. Mouth feels differently. Stranger feeling, tongue big. Breathe hard. Morning. I went this to literature's research, but I couldn't read out not anything at all. Something all is wrong with the files or with the computer. They're all garbled together in Dutch or Middle English or Esperanto or something all. More unbelievable. All writings on walls the cave Priam. All writings on the all walls are Amelie Dickinson poetry. Are Amelie Dickinson poetry. Everything all in the audio tape is on English walls, absorbed somehow all from the tapes. Jean, those first alien wordlen I'll translate over. They are really the first wordlen to Amelie Dickinson's Worten poem. This world is not conclusion poem. Computer. Amelie Dickinson Worten. Computer. Amelie Dickinson Worten.
This world is not conclusion. A species stands beyond, invisible as music, but positive as sound.
Stop! I'm not understand. Don't understand. I'm not understand why can't understand the files nor wordling on equipment and material I'm brought anymore. It can't just need the files were corrupted up. I can't read printed material that I called before. I can't hear it right anymore now. Did have I stroke and not know up on it? A disease? Do I have alien disease? I understanding nothing. Suspicion coming up infected. Brain is all being rewired with alien grammar, alien syntax. My brain all being rewired with alien phonemes. Advances the infection, a more amiable alien language. Understand alien language. Alien language is virus. Alien language infect me. Alien language infecting me. What is I becoming of? Human not more anymore. Amelie was right. Computer. Amalie Dickinson Morton.
This world is not conclusion. A species stands beyond, invisible as music, but positive as sound. It beckons and it baffles. Philosophy doesn't know.
End of recorded entry.